Raise it up. Raise it up. Chat Pro.
Welcome to the Hustler Casino Live pre-game show. As I was getting ready, they just bring in, what is this? What is this, bro?
874.
We're 874?
That's all I have left.
What is going on?
It's all I have left.
That's all that's left in the account.
All that's left in the account. I drained it all.
Okay, so I'm glad you got here early. I thought it was gonna be a 3-person thing, but they were like, no, it's just you and Nick. I was like, all right, let's do it.
I like it, let's do it.
And then I walk in and you're like, look, I have this jacket on. I'm taking a big risk today. So tell the people about this jacket.
So the Vertucci jacket, you know, it's a very nice jacket I like. The issue is, the last time I wore this and played poker, I lost an $850,000 pot with top loads into quads against Ben.
And we all saw it on Twitter. It was like a thing.
And so after that, I've worn the jacket since, but never for gambling purposes. And then today I had a different jacket on right as I was walking in the house, and I saw it hanging there, and I was like, nah. I'm gonna prove to myself that I can overcome the jacket.
We can overcome the superstition. We are logical human beings.
Exactly. I was like, if I can overcome the jacket, I can overcome the deficit to Berkey. And that's kind of what went through my head. And I was like, nice. And I put the jacket on.
I like it. I like it. You have like real confidence. You're like, look, it's gonna start today.
Yes, that's right.
We're gonna get this jacket. We're gonna smash some heads today.
We're gonna win $1 million on stream,
Vegas.
and we're going to Vegas and getting $1 million back. Like that's what we're doing. We're doing $2 million upswing in the next 4 days.
Okay, let's see. Before we get that, let me get you this lineup. You probably already know it, but the people don't.
I know. I think some of it, not all of it. Ryan never tells me the lineups.
Oh, he never tells me the lineup. I don't ask.
I don't ask either. I just play.
Let's get it.
Lineups are always good, and like it doesn't matter.
Be fine.
Like, I just want to play.
Sit down.
Yeah, like let's play.
Okay. Westside Wesley.
Fucking artist.
Artist. You guys are in. There's a little of artistry rivalry brewing between you two.
Me and Wesley, very good friends. We talk like every day, but like we fucking battle at the poker table, and like that's why we love each other.
Yeah.
We're like sick. Like
I feel like he's trying to one up your artistry though.
Yeah, like, and I'm trying to one up his. Like that's the fucking fun that we have together. Like we're like every session he plays and I'm not here, he'll text me like a bunch of screenshots out of the hands. He'd be like, "Did you see my artistry?" And I'm just like, "Wes, you are a true artist."
Dude,
like,
last week he was like, if you don't use the chips you buy, you have a small dick.
I saw that. That was on Wednesday. That was this week.
That was this week. That was 2 days ago.
He texted me. He said, "Did you see my needles?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "I said they have a small dick, and he has a small dick because he bought him for $300,000 in a 25-50 game." I was like, "Oh shit, Wes."
Dude, it's fucking insane. I was just like, these are the most amazing needles. Like everyone was fired. Mike X was firing needles. He was fired up.
That's awesome.
He was fired up.
I'm sorry I missed it. I was supposed to play Wednesday, but I took it off.
I know. I saw you. You're like, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna try to mash Berkey's face.
Exactly. I was like, maybe take one day off.
Yeah, you gotta. All right. Next up is Mariano. You played. How much have you played with Mariano? Actually,
a lot. No.
A lot.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. Always tough. You know.
Nice guy. Enjoy his
Super
company.
nice.
Yeah.
Super nice. Yeah.
Tough player. He's learning to give more action, which I think is good in the big game.
You gotta punt.
I think like he's won a lot lately, so he's getting more comfortable with the stakes and like.
That always helps,
like,
right?
That's like really good. It's been
yeah.
good
When
for
you do
him.
the accounting, you're just like, well, I'm up $1 million, so I guess I can give 200K of action.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
like, I'm up $2 million. Like, I guess I can give 500K back. Like shit like that. Like, it's all good.
It helps, right?
Yeah.
But like as soon as like once you enter the arena, because you know he didn't play like high stakes forever, right?
For sure.
So like when you first jump in, you're just like, oh man, like I hope I win.
No, yeah.
Because you could just lose $1 million.
Like I talked to him about this a while ago, like where we were talking, like this is like maybe like before he became a stream regular, he had asked me like, what do I need to do? And I was like, punt. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I was like, you see how I play? Like play like that. Like you can still win and like play like a lot of hands and get a lot of action. He's like, well, that's what I do at like 10-20. He's like, it's just hard for me to stomach doing it at like 100, 200. And I was like, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And like he's getting there. And like that's what's making him like able to be regular. And that's also why people like playing with him and like stuff, because like he's starting to realize, and this is important, that like you can give a ton of action and still win. And like if you give a ton of action, like regardless of if you're winning, people are happy
because they have a chance.
Right. And like that's like for me, like I try to win, but like a lot of like the guys like Charles or whatever, they like playing because like just fucking torch it to them once the session.
You have to,
action.
Because they're gonna. Everyone wants to feel like they have a shot. If you're sitting there playing 20%, like people they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
Especially if they're all V-pipping
I mean,
a bunch
like this has
around
been like
you.
a big conversation. I feel like kind of in like the Twitter spaces where people are talking about like the stream lineups and wanting pros and all this stuff, and it's like they just don't understand like what they want is impossible. Like you can't have like yourself, for example, like a winning good player. If you came in here and just played your best, like no one's gonna want to play with you. So you're not gonna be able to play anymore.
Correct.
And if you were playing, then the recreational players aren't gonna want to play, and so then that game's just gonna disappear. And so like the game doesn't exist. But if you come in and you're like, I'm still a winning player, I'm still trying to win, but I'm also gonna like do the right things by giving action, like take like one example of this, and to me is like Hands. Like I think Hands is a fucking really tough player. Like people ask me who's the toughest player I play against. I think Hands is the toughest. Like I don't even think it's close. Like I think Hands is tougher than Garrett, Andy, like Jungle, Art, Doug. I think Hands is tougher than
I've watched him. I'm like, man, this guy's hard to play
against. He's tougher than all of them, especially deep. And the reason is because Hands takes every fucking spot. Like a lot of people, like, we're playing 2-4, right? And the 8-16 goes on, and they're like, I'm not going to cold 4-bet the 4-5 suited. Fucking last week, like, the 16's on, I opened 5K, Andy 3-bets me next to Act. Hands, 35,000 with 5-4 suited, 4-bets. Like, he's going to take every spot. He's going to take it. And it's like, he's not going to have, like, big hands. He's going to take the spots. And like, so that obviously, like, it's still, like, probably winning and good, but, like, it gives incredible action and makes it people want to, like, have the chance to win huge pots.
3-bet is not always ace-king.
4-bet.
Right, or 4-bet, right.
He's fucking 5 high. Like, it's amazing. He put 35,000 in pre-flop. It's 5 high. Like, that's great for the game. And like recreational players see that and they're like, fuck yeah, like I'm doing that, you're doing that, let's go. 100%. Like, let's battle. Like,
people want to feel like you have bluffs in your range. Like they can call you, not just like every time they call you, you just have nuts.
Yeah. They just don't want to feel like you only have nuts.
Yeah. That's where the word sniper comes from, right? It's like, yo, you're a sniper. Like you just sit here, make nuts, and go home.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
That's the shit that I think tilts a lot of like the recreational players at Hustler and like in general too, is like snipers. Like it's kind of like, I'm sure a lot of people hate that word because they probably fit into that category where it's like, oh, this is a really good game. I'm just gonna wait for the nuts and like win the money, and like that's fine. Like you're just never gonna be invited back. And like you want to come snipe in a good game, come snipe. You're never gonna be back.
You'll get one shot.
That's it. Like you got your one shot.
It sucks. And
like,
I agree.
I think like people who don't see the long term, like they're gone. And like that's why back to Mariano, I guess the point is like he's starting to see the long term and like he's acting accordingly and not like playing the big game to snipe. He's playing the big game to win and give action, but also like play good and like balance all of that. And I think it's
100%. Andy Stacks back.
I love it.
How much have you played? You guys played a lot off stream, right?
Me and Andy, like, it's funny, like I talked about this a little bit, but like, so like I was a fan of poker before I was like in streams, obviously, and like I grew up in like poker or whatever, watching like Live with the Bike. When Ryan was there, like I remember when you stacked #Ting with one pair, and I was like, what the fuck, like $20,000 pot with one pair, like what's going on? Like I couldn't even imagine that. Or like,
but now in today, it's like, wait, Ace Queen's nuts. What are you talking about?
But I remember that hand. I remember like watching Andy and Garrett battle like weekly, and I always was like, personally, like Team Garrett, like, oh, Garrett's like
everybody
the killer,
was.
like fuck yeah, like Andy doesn't talk, he doesn't like do all this stuff, like whatever. And then I come here and I met Andy, I'm like, Andy's the GOAT, like he's just the fucking GOAT, like he's so much fun to play with, like I think he's a little more shy on camera, but he's gotten a lot better about it.
He certainly is, right? But I've talked to Andy off camera, I'm like, wow, this guy's awesome.
Dude, and like me and Pandy have played infinite sessions off camera where like it's so much fucking action and it's so much fun, and like we're playing, like we organize games and they were like super juicy games or whatever, regulars, and like are with the recreational players, and they all fucking loved it because like we're playing stand up, like me and Andy are opening 10,000 in a 100-200 game.
Whoa.
Like, and then like we're showing, like I show like 10-9 offsuit, he shows 7-8 offsuit. Like we're showing garbage. Like me and him played a hand once off stream where it was like playing like 50-100, we're playing 200K deep, and like it goes like open, he 3-bets, I cold 4-bet, and he just goes half my stack, and his chips were just like this, and I'm just like, that's not a bet, and he's like, no, I'm serious, binding. I'm like, count it, motherfucker. He counts, and I have King 9 suited. He counts out half his stack. It's like 101,300, okay? And I'm just like sitting there like, I want to shove, like I don't believe you, right? So finally I'm just like, whatever, like I know you're not gonna fold, so I fold my King 9 suited, Queen 4 suited.
Oh my god.
Like it's just like it's just like it's just pure. Like he was just in there, he's just like, fuck you, half my stack. Like I'm not folding, half my stack.
Half my stack.
I was just like, how do I even play?
And it's really hard to know because you know how he has these towers.
I literally was like, count it, motherfucker. Like, tell me what you want to bet. Like,
what a fucking legend, man. I'm glad he's back.
I'm so happy Andy's back, and like I know he's like, Andy's talked a lot about like moving to Asia and like being less in poker, but like while he's here, it's a fucking gem. I love being able to play with him.
All right. Sort of a little bit of a new star entering, like Bobo. How much have you played with Bobo?
A little bit, not too much. Some Chinese games and stuff. I think, I think Bobo, obviously a lot of action, like super fun personality and stuff. I think he's kind of like a Charles guy, where like he's capable of playing very good, plays a lot of poker, also capable of playing very bad. And overall,
like the rest of us.
Yeah, like and overall, like plays like okay and gives a lot of action, and like it's just super fun to be around. And like the other thing, like Bobo, like it's just like in the big pots, like he's not gonna have aces. Like last week there was that stupid hand with Jungle where it's like a 4-bet pot. He has queen 9 off. The flop comes like 8-8 deuce, and he just like raises a bet with nothing. Like I love that shit.
No,
like,
you have to. You have to do it.
And like he's
the
in there.
fans love him, dude. The fans are like Bobo's a fan favorite. All right. Henry, King Henry, he had a rough session on Wednesday.
And last Wednesday.
Yeah, it's been rough. I hope he does well. Not against you, but I hope he does well today because I do want to see him.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love Henry. Me and Henry
everybody
like.
loves Henry. Yeah.
The thing I love best about Henry is like a lot of people think me and Henry have beef, but we're actually like good friends and like we just compete hard at the table and shit. But like the thing that's best about Henry is like me and him like have like an unspoken agreement that like when one of us is like on tilt and wants to play a big pot, the other one just doesn't fold. Like just doesn't fold. In position, out of position, like we just don't fold. Like we're like, you want to play a big pot? We'll play a big pot. Like
I like that.
I'll get you off tilt. I'll give you the chance.
I'll get you off tilt, or you're gonna be on more tilt.
Exactly.
There's
and like,
one thing or another.
We're both like trying to win the big pot. Like, we're trying to get him more on tilt, but like we're like, yeah, we'll play. And I love that about Henry. And like also the thing about Henry that's fun is like he tilts his brains out, and I love it. Like because I tilt my brains out. He just does it at the table. Like you'll just see Henry like nothing's happening. He'll just punch the table, and you're just like, what's going on, man? He's like nothing's happened in like 30 minutes. Like he hasn't played a hand. He hasn't lost. Like he might win a pot and like punch the table.
He's like, I'm still stuck.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like you're good.
Why'd you fold the river?
Yeah, like chill. I love Henry.
Yeah, it's so. All right, and the last one is Pepe.
Fucking legend. El Jefe, bro. Like
Pepe El Jefe, El Tigre.
You just like never know. Like Pepe's in there sometimes, just like flatting aces to an open, and sometimes he's just fucking cold 4-betting 9-3 off.
He did. He flatted queens on Wednesday or something. It was like someone had kings, so he flats queens, somehow saves his stack. It was like you never know which version of Pepe you're gonna get.
We played a hand where we were playing stand-up game, and I just opened like huge under the gun, and he just flats kings next to that. And like I ended up going all in on the river, and he folded because an ace came. But like later I saw his hand, and I was like, what the fuck? Like I was about to torch a stack there for sure. Like
you're like I was about to fucking launch it.
Yeah, I was like, kings. I was like, you have like 5s. Like
oh my god. All right, so it's gonna be a sick lineup. We expect probably some straddles, 100, 200, 400. It's like probably automatic, I would assume already.
So.
All right. The people want to know latest update. I know that you were traveling back and forth for Vegas, been playing Berkey heads up. Where are you at this week?
So I took Monday off, didn't want to play. A lot of people thought it was hilarious. Gave a main event buy-in to him to take the day off. I don't know. I just didn't want to play. Like, I felt like I guess I'll give people some background. Like, you know, Doug has been helping me more and more this week, but he's been reviewing like the hands and stuff, and he like told me on Monday morning, he was like, oh, like Sunday was your best session in terms of play. Like you played your best from the hands, you know?
Nice.
And I was like, that felt awesome, but I lost 350. And I was just like, I don't know, I just didn't want to play. Like I just didn't want to play. Like
emotionally, you're just like, you just get up some days and you don't want to play poker.
Yeah, and like also like a lot of it is just like I don't like spending time with Matt. Like personally. Like I get it. I detest the time I have to spend with him at the table. And so like just like, I don't want to play and I have to go fucking spend 6 hours with someone I hate. Like, I just want to go home. Like, and like there were people here at Hustler that were like they had the meetup game, so I was like, that's why I made that troll about like I gotta play a bigger game.
You're gonna go play a bigger game? You're playing like 1-3 or some shit.
A lot of people were like, oh, you liar. I'm like, bro, can you not understand a troll? Like,
yeah, that makes sense. It's like, I'm gonna go play a bigger game. You're just like, I'm playing 1-3.
So like that, you know, I just took the day off. I was happy with that decision. This week, like, prepped for like this weekend, playing here today, then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, each day with Berkey.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week.
This weekend,
that's big. That's a lot.
Yeah, and then the next weekend, same thing, and then we're done. So like it's like the last little stretch. So we'll see. I mean, we basically have like 40-ish hours left to do the next 2 weeks. So I mean, there's a lot of poker left to be played.
There's a ton of poker left.
I think like the number is like pretty big, like 660 in terms of like absolute dollars.
Right.
But it's really not that big in terms of like what we're playing in the game.
No.
And like people have been like, oh, he's gonna lock it up and not like give you a chance or whatever. But I'm like, I'm pretty sure he just thinks like he's winning a lot of money by playing me and like isn't gonna want to lock it up because he wants to win more of my money.
Right. Also, when you're playing with a big blind ante, locking it up is like pretty bad.
People don't understand, like it's $1,000 like per 2 hands.
Right.
So if you lock it up and like I just win like 100 hands in a row, it's 100K. You just lost the buy-in. Like,
right. And 100 hands happens pretty fast heads up.
Especially if you're just folding. Like,
right. It's just like raise, fold, raise, fold.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you're just like locking it up in that sense, or like even worse, like raise, call, flop, check, bet, fold.
Yeah.
That's fucking torching. Like, you're just losing infinite.
Right.
And, like, the hands are going to happen. So, like, I'm
or
not
raise,
worried. Yeah.
get 3-bet, fold.
Yeah,
like all these hands, like they add up
It
fast.
adds up fast. And people don't realize that. So I'm not worried at all about it. Like, I'm excited. I'm actually, like, pretty excited to play this weekend. Like, I think I've, like, improved over the week, which is, like, to be honest, like, so, like, going into it, I thought, like, I'd be really good at heads up naturally because I thought it really fit my, like, style. But I think what I underestimated is, like, heads up is just super technical. Like, it's super technical. Like, you can't just, like, be like, fuck you and mash.
You can't just, like, blitz someone with, like, infinite bet.
Exactly. And, like, because when you run bad, like, they'll just, like, when someone best hands you in heads up for, like, an hour, like, you just are fucked. And, like, if you just try to run them over when they're best handing you, like, you're fucked. Like, especially someone who's, like, thinking to an extent. Like, you know, like if it's a recreational player, like maybe you can run him over. But like Berkey obviously is like thinking, you know, and so like you can't just like run him over. And so I think like I thought that would be the case, but it's not. And so I've had to like instead of being like an artist, like I've had to be more technical and try to like rein in some of my like my natural desire to just like go insane. Like the first weekend I was just like running it on him all over the place. I was like
that weekend was volatile, man.
Yeah,
you were like
I was playing my poker. Like I was just like I'm gonna battle you and like not give a fuck. And then I realized he was like sniping me basically that weekend. Like
you got sniped?
Yeah, like I got sniped. Like that's what happened. You know what I mean? Like I mean like even like the Queen Jack Six's hand, like that's some fucking pure snipe spot by him. Like he's just like trying to snipe me with the set. Like he sniped himself, but like he's trying to snipe me. Let's be honest. Like and so like after that, like you know. I've been like a little more in control. Like I mean, I've still been going. Like the thing I will say about this, win or lose, I can be proud of the fact that like in the big pots, man, like I've had the balls to run it.
That's good.
He's never bluffed.
But no one's ever questioned that.
Yeah, but like
right?
for my own thing, like I'm
like
I got that fucking heart, you know. Like the biggest bluff he's bet is like 30,000, and he like fucking windmilled in my face like it was impressive. And I was like, bro, it's 30K. Like show me something for like 100, you know. Like,
so there's been a little bit of talk of the like maybe the last 10 hours being streamed. Do you think that's a possibility still or no?
I have no clue. I mean, no one's told me anything. I've said from the beginning, I'm happy to stream as much or as little as possible, and I stand by that. Like, if he changes his mind, I'm down to do whatever. I'm down to do the rest on stream. Like, I'm down to do half, none, whatever. I think it's good for poker to do it on stream. Like, I'm stuck a lot, so like I think that probably incentivizes him to do it on stream because he feels like it looks better
it's like
for
marketing
him.
sort of.
Yeah. I'm still willing to play. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm in it for like to play. Like I don't care.
You're in it for the you're in it for the people. Like,
I'm in it for the people. Exactly. Like I want to be on a stream. Like I want to like give people something to watch. Like I mean like once again like it kind of goes back to like getting into poker. Like I watch streams and like these kind of like heads up grudge matches or whatever, like you hear about people like they battle, but like you never get to see it. Like I want like, people see it, like hear about it. Like this is fucking. I feel like since I lost my shit and decided like let's fucking play, like the poker world's fucking picked up. Like
actually, you're kind of right.
Yeah,
like the Twitter Spaces really got
picked off
lit.
when I decided like let's fucking go. Like
yeah,
that's
I would
when
say
things
that.
went insane.
That's
like,
fair.
When me and Berkey were in like, that week, where basically he was trying to find every out to not play.
Well, the whole Garrett thing also like everything kind of cultivated.
Exactly. And I feel like people don't realize like this is like people bitching and complaining. I'm like, dude, this is so good for poker. Like, why do you think Bryce Hall, like guy with like 100 million TikTok followers, is tweeting like, this is awesome? Like, why do you think Nick Austin and me and Madison Beer are like becoming really good friends? Because like the mainstream loves this shit. Like, this is how you grow poker. Like,
this is a mainstream kind of thing.
This is what you do. Like, you all just want us.
This formula has been done.
And like this is like people don't understand. Like, I'm fucking making so much money for all these professional poker players. They just don't realize it. Like, I'm bringing in the fucking recreational players. Like, I'm the one going to Madison Beer's home game and playing with her like 3 times a week to make her more into poker, to get her friends into poker. Like, I'm the one fucking like doing all this shit and growing poker. You're not. You're just in there bitching in your seat about my actions. Like, you're just bitching that I got drunk on high stakes poker. Well, buddy, I guarantee you I'm growing poker more than you. Like,
what did you think about that? What did you like looking back at it?
Okay, so.
Because obviously there was so much talk about it, right? Like everyone had their own opinion.
So obviously, like, I guess I'll go through a couple of things with that. Like, one, like, there was a lot of people being like, oh, it's fake laughter and shit. Like, no, it's just how I am. And like, Rob said, like, I'm fucking out of my mind on camera, off camera. Like, I laugh a lot, I troll. Like, my laugh is weird, maybe. Lynn's laugh is weird, maybe. I don't know. But like, nothing was fake there. In terms of the drinking, like, I mean, I love getting wasted and having fun, but I think that it can be, I think I'm already like pretty gregarious. And when I'm drunk, I'm even more gregarious. And it's always like, my intention is pure-hearted, but I can see how people like it comes across like negatively. And then I think like couple things. Like, so like the last hand with Jennifer, people were like, "You're wasting time." Like, no, I wasn't. Like, I was trying to decide if I wanted to gamble if she had a set or she had a flush, like, or she had a spade. I mean, like, if she had a spade, like, I just can't call, like, whatever it is. And if she doesn't, like, I was ready to gamble. I was like ready to gamble.
Yeah.
And like, it took like 11 minutes. To me, that felt like 1 minute. Like, I was
Right, because
drunk.
you're blasted.
Yeah, like, I
not-
literally, like, when someone like dug at some thing, I remember being like, "Man, it's taking forever. Like, I'm gonna call clock." And I was like, "Okay, sure." Like, I was kind of like in my head, I was like, "Does it really? Like, it's been like a minute, you know?"
Right.
So like that was not good. I think like from like the optics, but I don't feel bad personally from the poker because like I know what I was thinking and like anyone who knows me knows I don't waste time, especially not on camera.
Right,
Like,
right.
If I'm in the tank, it's because I'm seriously
You're
considering.
thinking,
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't believe in wasting time. And then you know, like there was a moment that people got upset when I like blew up at Berkey and got up and stormed off or whatever. Fuck that. I don't care. Like I stand by what I said. Like
we know that's coming. Right?
yeah, like and also like that stuff, I stand exactly by what I said. Like, you don't get to talk about covering me when you never cover me with. Like, you cover me when you get deep, and I run out of chips because we're in Vegas. Like, come to LA and try to cover me, buddy. Like, I guarantee you,
Right,
you can't.
so it's
you know?
different
Like,
cities.
you don't get to talk, and also like he's not buying into cover. Like, there's a difference between buying into cover and then getting deep to cover when someone runs out of chips. Like, there's a huge difference there, and like I think that's like whatever. But and then like the other thing that kind of like tilted me was like. I guess a couple things. So one, like I was pretty tilted by the commentary. I felt like Nick Schulman was super out of line.
That was a pretty. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little out of line statement that he said about you.
Yeah.
Like the. I'm not gonna repeat it.
Yeah,
here,
like
but yeah.
there were a couple that I thought were super out of line, especially given like Poker Go set this up to be what it was. Like
Correct.
Like they can bullshit themselves, and like I don't think Brent Hanks is bullshitting himself. Like I think he agrees with this, but like. Other people in Poker Go or like the poker community can say like, oh, this is not High Stakes Poker's brand or whatever, and like, sure, I don't care. But we were asked to come play a High Stakes Poker stream, High Stakes Poker the show and High Stakes Poker in general stream, and like the lineup was curated for fucking it to be a shit show.
They knew what they were getting.
Like they wanted it to be a
right.
shit show.
It's.
So like don't.
You kind of know what you're signing up
Yeah.
for.
So like
right?
don't get like and then like
Back in the day, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to have these like bad boys of poker on WPT Cash Game or stuff like that. And you know what you're getting when Tony G's there, like, get on your bike, you fucking net. Like, you know what's coming, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like that's what's expected. And like, you know, I think I guess like to say something about Matt and this is like people were like, oh, it's so unfair, Matt versus everyone. But like he signed up to play the lineup. Like he was off like he was originally like that game had nothing to do with me, Matt, and Doug, nothing. But then they were like, oh, this might be fun, and so they kind of like and Eric, like they kind of decided they decided to switch it, right? He chose to play, like it's fine, like we're all adults, like I don't know, the whole thing really tilted me, like I was especially tilted by Nick's commentary. I thought it was incredibly like out of line and like pretty rude towards like someone who is like. I mean, like, I'm not saying it's not like an honor for me to play on High Stakes Poker because it is, but like also like I'm doing them a favor. Like I'm buying in $1 million. Like I'm giving the most action, I think. Like I'm the one like running it with 6-8 off against Rob Young. Like
And they need you kind of like Berkey, Nick is like the story.
Exactly. Like Matt's sitting there like just stone faced, not doing anything. Like I'm the one talking shit. Like I'm the one making it entertaining. Like when I stack him, like I grab his chips, people are like, oh, it's so unprofessional. What the fuck are you talking about? Those are my chips. Like I literally don't understand this. Like I just like tilt the shit on me. I'm like, you're like, oh, it's bad etiquette. Sure, like that's fair. Like
But you know that you're doing it for.
Yeah.
You're doing it to be the bad etiquette.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I'm like, also like, I don't think I need to have good etiquette with someone who like I despise, who has lied about me, talks shit about me all the time, like continues to lie about me on his platform. Like, I don't think I need to have good etiquette with him. Like, fuck him. So those are my chips. Like,
And then people want to see the whole like.
And like, I was talking to Eric. Eric's like, that was fucking awesome. He's like not even like because he doesn't like Berkey. He's like, that's just great TV. Like, that's what
It's
we
the
need.
TV,
like, that's what we need in poker. Like, we need shit like that. Like, that clip has like. Someone told me it has like almost 2 million views or something
really?
on Twitter. Like,
Holy shit.
these things
That's
like
sick.
like people like
Yeah,
are
people care.
interested.
People
like,
care.
It can take poker and grow it in the mainstream. Like people are like, oh shit, like what's going on?
Yeah,
Let me look at
rivalries,
this.
yeah.
And like
Rivalries
some
is-
people say like, oh, that bad behavior, and like it will turn off public people. No, like what happens is like they see that and they're like, what the fuck is this? Let me go look, and they go watch and like, oh man, these guys are fucking.
Also, a
just
lot of people
gambling.
that say that are mostly not really in the private realm,
Right.
Like this private realm is like
Different.
much different.
Yeah.
Like someone going like, bro, give me those chips. Like it's like bro,
Nothing, yeah.
It's not like that out
Like
of line.
to be
right?
honest, like I think Rob said it best. Like he put up a tweet after and he said like, you guys saw a true private game.
Yeah.
Like an off-stream private game. Like that's what happens. Like that's an off-stream private game right there. Like some people are drinking, I'm drunk. Like there's beef between players. Like there's also a lot of love. There's also like a lot of fake like Rob needling Doug. Like there is a level of truth to what Rob is saying. Like he is needling Doug. Like, is he joking? Yeah, but is he also like probably like have like some under level of like
something
distaste?
is there.
Yeah, like
right.
there's something there. He's needling Doug. Like that's real fucking life. Like, you know, like Jennifer Tilly just like is the funniest fucking human being ever. Like you're just like seeing like pure like this is what high stakes poker is. Enjoy it. Like instead of judging it, like enjoy it. And then like for me personally, like a lot of people like just like love to fucking just rail on my behavior and stuff. And I always just laugh. I'm like, you guys all talk and judge and stuff. There's a reason I'm here every week getting to play. There's a reason I play the sickest private games.
That's fair.
And like, obviously, like you think I'm so out of line, but then why is it that all the toughest games to get into in the world invite me to play?
That's a really fair question.
So like, why don't you guys like, you know, why don't all like the fucking like, you know, grinders and haters and like whatever of the world who like, they're like, oh, I'm so good at poker. Like, you know, Shaun D, like he's like, oh, I get to play in private. Bro, the games you play in are fucking jokes. Like, they don't touch a candle to the games I play in, and you can never get in. And like, Shaun like tweets something like, oh, why don't you take Matt to good games? Because Matt also can't get, like, none of you guys qualify. Like, not you, like, I'm talking about.
No, I understand what you mean.
Like, I mean, I guess also probably you, but like, no one qualifies.
I punt too.
Punting at, you know, 10, 20, and 100, 200 harder, but
Listen,
it's like, people don't qualify. They don't understand that, you know? And it's like, there's a reason that, like, you may think my behavior is one way or the other, but then, like, I'm in all the games and, like, I'm friends with all the recs. Like, why is it that when, like, people have attacked me publicly, like, recreational players from Hustler have stood up and said, like, that
is
my
true, right? Like, a lot of people have stood up for you.
And, like, all the people who know me have stood up for me, and, like, the people attacking me, like, often haven't had people know them stand up for them. And, like, I think all these things are kind of interesting and relevant. But to wrap up on high stakes poker, like, I would say very fun, cool experience to get to play it. I, you know, in hindsight, wish I hadn't gotten that drunk because I think it doesn't come across that great on stream. That being said, like, I don't think anything I did was out of line or wrong. Like, I kind of like, I stand by it.
Your intentions were to put on a show.
Right.
And that's what you did.
And I think, like, for everyone who's so upset, it's like, that show was the best viewership for Poker Go ever.
That's actually a really good point.
So, like, you're complaining, but, like, the goal is for views. So, like, I don't understand. Like, you know, like, if you want, like, if the goal is to be professional stuff, go watch the super high rollers that do, like, 500 views. Like, Poker Go streams those. Like, they don't do viewership. No one cares about, like, a 15K where we see, like, all these guys like this with their, like, sunglasses on, like, fucking, like, look, like, waiting 30 seconds before every action. Like, that doesn't do views because people don't care.
Nobody wants to see
like,
it. Yeah, it's super
to me, like, I think that, like, people, like, sometimes, like, love to, like, bitch and complain, but then they don't look at the big picture. And, like, also, like just, I think, for me, it's, like, appreciate people, and this is not even talking about myself, like, in general, when it streams, like, people go on here, we play our own money, we give ourselves the chance to look like big fucking idiots. Yeah. And, like, appreciate that. Like, just appreciate the entertainment. Like, for me, like, when I was coming up watching poker, I was like, man, fuck yeah, thank God Ryan does streams. Like, thank God. Like, it gives me something to watch every day. I love it. And, like, just love it. Like, you know what I mean?
That's 100%. I feel that, too, because we put ourselves out there, and it's like, bro, we make a stupid mistake. You know, the chat's like, what an idiot. You know, and it's like, you know, it's our money and stuff like that.
Exactly.
All right, really appreciate you here. I hope you absolutely mashed this game today.
Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you all for watching. Nick Airball, Christian Soto, High Stakes Poker Production. Peace.
Raise it up. Raise it up.